gonna turn that much. Come on!
Welcome to the quest for minus 18. Simple premise, start with 2 scratch players playing Texas Scramble and see how low you can go. And then in every future episode, we're gonna add another player until we hopefully get to minus 18. I feel today we can, minus 10-ish would be pretty good. So we'll see how we do. Hope you enjoy the episode, and I hope you subscribe for future episodes. Enjoy. All right, first hole, Neil teeing off, first time on YouTube. I have not seen him miss this fairway literally in my life. Probably hasn't missed it since the 80s, and I think that run there tells you where that went. I still hit driver kind of stupidly, and I flirted with the right side as well, but got away with it. About 50 yards out of the rough to a front flag, not in most ideal location. This one's right on it, just can't stop it. Neil also right on, better weight though, and again almost one in, but just leaves us with a slightly tricky, maybe 15 footer down the hill. Would have liked to have been a little closer on a short par 4. Neil leaves one a little bit short. Usually in scrambles, that's not the best idea. And then I kind of do the same thing, just, not hard enough for the line. So starting with a par. Second hole is a short par 5 up the hill. Definitely a scoring opportunity. Neil absolutely scorched this one. Probably at 1800 spin, little draw. Caught the downslope. This was huge. We knew we were a good spot. I swung hard, got a little spinny on it. I'm usually a little longer than Neil off the tee, but here he got me by probably 15, 20 yards. Had about 170 yards here. Neil pulled this a bit, but definitely a good spot. Easy up and down for birdie and a scramble. I should have probably got a little more aggressive knowing where Neil was, but I kind of, it's hard to go away from what you usually do. Pulled this a little bit left up top, almost caught the ridge, but it left us with a, let's call it about a 25, 30 foot downhill putt. The good news here is very hard to leave this one short because this hill is a lot bigger than it looks. Neil gives it a really good run, secures the birdie, and now I'm going to try to, get that eagle to really get some momentum. This time I hit a little too hard. 3 is a beautiful par 3 down the hill, views of Richmond and South Vancouver. Neil hits an absolute laser beam on the flag. I think this probably pitched about a foot from the flag and just released to the fringe. Tough little hole location though. It has a lot of undulation. I hit a good one here, probably about 18 feet below the hole. Pretty straightforward putt, but the stats say take the closer one. We talked about it for a while. We took this one. I think it was the right call. Looking at about 10, 12 feet, but it has a lot of movement, as you will see. And then I come up, and this is where I wish I hit this one a little bit harder. Just kind of not hard enough, and it took too much break, and I almost went in, but didn't do it. So again, cardinal sin, don't leave it short. Good news is we have an eagle opportunity on hole 4. You really want to cut right over the bunkers on the edge. It takes a lot of yardage off the hole. Unfortunately, Neil kind of hits us out to the right into the rough, but it's in play. And more unfortunately, we do not have an egg this hole, and I hit this even further right. And I did hit this quite far. It just ended up a little bit under the tree branches and was a bad angle. So we took the more straightforward play, but way back on this hole from where we usually are. So we're hitting hybrids. It's about 230. Neil hits this one pretty well. It just goes into the right bunker. A little bit short-sided though. I do the exact opposite. I hit it into the left bunker. Slightly better of the two, but not exactly hunting down eagles on this this really scoreable hole. About a 35, 40-yard bunker shot here, giving it a lot of acceleration, and somehow I get this thing to back up about 20 feet off the fringe. So that was good. Left us about 10 feet. Neil steps up, hits it a little chunky. The ball was a little bit above our feet here. So we end up taking my shot. I mean, this is a huge momentum putt. We're only 1 under through 3, so we're not exactly burning down the house here. I proceed to just push this way right and put a lot of pressure on Neil, and I kind of said to him after this putt, that we really needed this. On a hot, scorching day, number 5 is drivable sometimes. Neil hits an absolute perfect shot here. I go full gorilla mode and no tracer, but I'm kind of on the right side. Not playable. So we have about 45 yards. I thought this was not bad. I just did a little chunky with trying to hit a bump and run. Ended up about 20 yards, 20 feet short. Neil hits an absolute beauty. This pin is on a ridge, so you have to be, you have to have perfect distance control, and that almost goes in. This leaves us let's call that a 7-8 footer. Pretty straightforward, a little right to left. And I hit again, just weak. I don't know what I'm doing. It's hard to turn off regular play mode, but just left that a little bit short. And then Neil hits a great putt here and just does the ring of death. 6 is another short par 4. It is drivable with a really good one. Neil hits a great one here. Just misses the slope by probably about a yard. For some reason, I didn't go at the green. It's a scramble. I went same line as Neil, and I just nuked this. We couldn't find it. Just flew everything. Great angle here, though. About 75 yards. Got a little aggressive, and it pitched over the ridge and just rolled off. Neil hits this one a little bit fat. He was on the green. We actually did take mine just because his putt was quite tricky. So a little bit of struggles early on in the program. But this one here goes in, and it big momentum play there, and we get to 3 under. 7's a solid par 3, about 180 yards. Neil hits this one a tiny bit fat, so it ends up a little bit short. I step up, I think I had a 7-iron here, a little bit of a mishit, but just got enough of it that it got on the green. Actually went past the flag, so maybe I was lucky. Ended up about 17, 18 feet, straight down the hill. Not that much break in this. Speed shouldn't be an issue. Give it a good stroke, and just right at the end, it bleeds off. But, we got our par there. Neil, I think he was a little too focused on line on this one, tried to give it the mojo, but it didn't quite make it there, so par on that hole. 8's a cool uphill par 4, not very long. Neil, we decided he'd just lay up, but fairly aggressively, so he hit, I think, a 5-wood, left us about 50 yards in perfect shape. I don't have a very controlled hook, but I'm just trying to hit a humongo hook shot up around the corner. Really pulled off a good shot, just started a little too far left, so I caught the trees, we couldn't find it. Didn't record the second shots, but we got to here from about 50 yards short of the green. This is straight up the hill, not going to leave it short, and we kind of need to drain it based on where we're standing at the moment, and luckily that one goes in, gets us to -4. 9's another uphill par 4, a little bit longer. Neil hits a perfect little bullet cut up there, perfect shape. I did hit a drive, but I again went gorilla and smashed it somewhere, lost another ball. I had about 100 yards here, perfect sandwich up the hill. This was a good one, a little bit left, about 10 feet left pin high. Now Neil doing Neil things, hits an absolute gem right on the flag. You can't see this ball land. We thought, it could have been in. Unfortunately, it stopped about, let's call that 3.5 feet short. I didn't even get my putter out, just letting Neil clean this up. So that caps off a front 931. Really nice to have 2 people putting. The 12 putts is pretty good. We did hit all the greens. We just didn't take a couple of them. Took the closer ball. And the birdies on 8 and 9 really helped with the momentum. Number 10's uphill par 4. Really need a good drive here. I hit the best one of the day for me so far. Neil kind of joked he didn't need to hit. He actually did hit, but we ended up taking mine. I proceeded to hook it into the bunker. So Neil had a little pressure on him, hit a good one here under the hole, left us a bit further than we wanted. Let's call this 25 feet, straight up the hill pretty much, but this does tail off a little bit here, and I just didn't hit that hard enough either for a scramble putt. So now Neil trying to get a birdie on one of the harder holes, and he hits a good one. After watching mine break, that one just didn't, so we'll have to settle for par there. Neil starts to step it up here on number 11, just ropes another perfect drive right up the middle. Frees me up to try to hit a big one, and usually when you do that, you're not very accurate. This ended up in the rough and it was okay, but Neil was in a perfect spot, full sandwich in, so no point in looking at that one. And Neil's just going to take this hole on by himself. He puts this so close. I mean, I did hit, but I didn't get it within 3 feet. I stayed on the side of the green and let him just get his own birdie here. And that was beautiful. It gets us to -6 and gets our momentum back. 12 is the most scoreable hole. It's a par 5, but I mean, if you cut this corner over that bunker, it becomes very short. Neil, it's an awesome drive here. I didn't trace this, unfortunately, but it was perfect. And then I hit I think this is the closest I've gone to the green off this tee box. Cut the corner quite a bit, probably about 110 to the middle. I think we had about 130 to the flag. This is bad partner golf. I got too aggressive, short-sided us, and, rightfully slow, led Neil to kind of just put it into the middle of the green. So, real eagle opportunity kind of faded away a little bit there because of my aggressive shot. Neil hits a great putt and gives it a chance for eagle, just a little bit short, but tap birdie there. And then I'm really trying to make this, because this is probably the most eagleable hole on the course. 13, tough par 3, but when you're playing a scramble, it's not too bad. Neil puts this great spot right under the hole, uphill putt. I'm basically hit the exact same line, a little bit left to Neil, but this was just a little bit shorter. So we were left with this, let's call this a 10-footer straight up the hill. My putter was starting to heat up as well, starting to feel a little bit better at this point. And we knock this in, and for 3 in a row, get to 8 under. Neil, it's another good drive, pick up the tee quickly on 14. This time I try to hit it hard as well, and I actually pull it off and hit a really good one. Got us to, I think, about 90 yards out on our second shot. This one was a little bit left, and this green slopes right to left, so you really want to pitch it slightly right of the flag on your first hop and hope it sort of trickles, and Neil pulls this one off perfectly. It's another one where you can't really see the ball from the fairway, but he gives the nod there, and it was in fact a good spot. So this one, although it's only about, let's call that 8 feet, it's quite tricky. Decent amount of break, decent amount of slope. And Neil hits a good putt here, just catches that right lip. So we really want to make this for 4 in a row. And we do, so that's great. And we're getting to 9 under par. 15's a dead straight uphill par 4. A little out of character. Neil hits a bit of a fanner here to the right. It was in play, but kind of had some tree troubles. So a little pressure on me for the first time in a while off the tee. Hit a bit of a toe hook, but it ended up okay with a good angle out of the left rough, just short of the bunker. This looked really good. It kind of came in there and pitched, but you never really know where it's going to end up. You can't really see the ball land, and sometimes it goes forward, sometimes it doesn't. Then Neil hits one that we thought was going to be, probably a couple feet away here. But when we got up there, it was actually over the back, unfortunately. So we ended up taking mine, which was okay, but you'll see how much of a break this has. It's probably about a 2-foot break on a 12-foot putt, and I just don't hit it hard enough for that line. Putting a little bit of pressure on Neil to keep this streak of birdies going. And he hits an absolute money putt and just side doors it. And there's the smile. Great putt there. 16, shortish par 4, I think about 150. Neil doing Neil things here. Right on the flag. This is about 3 feet away. I think I put this probably about, whatever, it doesn't even matter, 15, 20 feet away. But Neil was tight in there. So it's a perfect spot, and just let him get his own birdie here. Didn't take my putter out. Perfect putt there to get us to 11 under. 17 is a tough hole uphill. Neil hits another great drive. No pressure on me. I hit a good one here as well. Just a little cut, ended up in the middle. Left us about 135 on our second shot to a back flag. This green severely slopes left to right, so you kind of want to pitch it up on the left here, which I do. It just kind of hung up there, unfortunately, but it was pin high, which is always a good spot. Neil's was right on the flag. It just was not the right club and ended up, you know, short. So we did end up taking mine. This putt, I thought it was going to break, and it kind of wanted to break, and it tried, but it just sort of hung out there. And, you know, good putt from, let's call it 20 feet. Neil, having seen my line, gave it a little less break, just not enough juice, and this kind of hangs on the edge, and we both do a perfectly timed I don't even know what you call that, a wolf howl or something, but it kind of ends our birdie streak there. But that was a great run. In regular play, 18 is not much of a risk reward par 5 to go for on 2, but in the scramble, we were going to do it regardless. Neil hits a great drive there. I smashed mine somewhere in the trees, and then Neil hits an absolute perfect 5-wood, takes the bank off the right side and ends up behind the flag. Here, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm aiming into that tree, so well, I hit where I aim, but yeah, that one's gone. But, you know, we left here with an eagle putt to get to 13 under, and I hit a pretty good one, just slightly too hard. And then Neil's tried to kind of get us to 13, and also a good putt, just a little low. So between our two, we had it. So that caps off a 60. Really good back nine there. Good run of birdies. Unfortunately, no eagles on the card. 25 total putts. Hit every green. And yeah, pretty good overall. Pretty happy with that. But still 6 short of the minus 18. Subscribe for episode 2. I've already signed a mystery player to a 1-day contract. And as you can see, the distance attribute is off the charts. This guy's an absolute bomber, so that should be very interesting. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Take care.